Hello everyone, as I was saying on GameJolt, I'm now gonna show you how to make this effect. The camera basically just looks like it's moving in a 3D space on Clickteam Fusion, of course. Before I start, I want to say that this video has chapters, so you can skip the parts that don't really interest you. External files and stuff like that, it's all gonna be in the description with, of course, the links. For example, the actual shader, which is done by Peeblo, I think. So yeah. You can go to the description and find the link to the shader. So just download it, and if you don't know how to actually add said shader to Clickteam Fusion, you can. I'm gonna link a tutorial video that I actually recommend. So yeah, start right now by actually kind of explaining what we are going to do. So basically we are going to render an image, so an equirectangular image, which is basically like just imagine like those maps that you see of the world, where at the poles, at the North Pole and the South Pole, it's like kind of like goes bigger, and in the middle it's kind of like normal, and then when you go to the South Pole it gets bigger again. It's basically like an equirectangular projection, which is how we get, or I guess in for the world's map, kind of like how we see a sphere in a 2D space basically. So yeah, this shader is pretty much used in Google Maps. I don't know if you ever used Google Street View, but it's basically like this shader right here. As you can see, it looks like a 3D render, like a 3D game, but it's actually just a 2D image. I think he shows it, yes. As you can see, it's like a 2D image. We're not gonna do this. We're gonna do something more simple. Of course, of course, it's gonna just be the camera system. So, like, just looking around and not the actual like interaction, which you need to set up to actually interact with the objects around you. So you need to actually set up like a guide on which a fake cursor will actually move around and interact with actual objects. So yeah, let's just start by showing you how to actually render those images in two different softwares. One it's my favorite, so Cinema 4D, and the other one it's Blender, because it's just the most popular 3D rendering software. So okay, let's just start with Cinema 4D. As you can see, this is camera 10 and 9 of Infinity. So we'll just go to camera 9 right now. Okay. You're basically just gonna follow what I do on your scene, of course. So I'm not gonna provide my own scene. So just go to your scene, place the camera where you would like to place it. So for example, where I had it was pretty good right here. This looks pretty good. You're gonna wanna keep in mind the FOV, so the field of view. You're gonna wanna write this down somewhere, so like 76 and 47. You just wanna write it down for later, because we'll need it for the actual setting up the shader and the actual FOV, so you can actually see it how you actually see it in your 3D engine of choice. Okay. So now that you have your camera set up, you just, if you don't know how to set up a camera, you just click right here and you just set the camera. Pretty simple. So now that you have your camera set up and ready in whatever position you want it to look at, this is important because when you go to create the equirectangular image, the center of the image will be this. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, now that we have our camera, we will duplicate it or just add another camera, and you want to select that camera. So the context menu right here goes to this camera, to the new camera. You want to go to this spherical tab, and we want to enable it. And as you can see, FOV helper, we want it on equirectangular because it's what we actually need. And we want to fit the frame. So instead of like having a bunch of black bars where the actual image is, it will just stretch out the image to fit it on whatever resolution that you need. Talking about resolutions, we're gonna leave it right here. This is basically how to set up the equirectangular camera. Pretty easy. It's also easy on Blender. So we are now gonna talk about the resolution, the render resolution. So at how many pixels the image needs to be. So of course it's gonna basically depend on your camera. So camera system. Here's my camera. It's not a full screen camera like FNAF 1, but it's actually just the FNAF 3 camera. So it's basically, so you can actually see the office behind the camera. Anyways, so you want to kind of get whatever resolution you want. So if it's like an old FNAF 1 camera system where it covers the entire screen, you just want to render it to the entire screen. But if it's something like mine, so where you can actually see the background, you kind of just want to get the resolution of the actual screen that you have rendered. So now once I'm just using paint.net, you kind of just want to get a selector and just select the part where you want your render to be, and you just basically select it right like this and get the dimensions of camera. Anyways, with that being said, you just now set the resolution up, pretty easy, and then you just hit render and you render the image. Find the image should look something like this when rendered. So as I said before, really distorted at the top and the bottom, and at the center it just looks kind of normal, maybe a bit, a bit distorted, but that's what we actually want. So right now we're gonna also do the Blender part. So if you actually use Blender, you can just set it up pretty easily. So first thing first, you need your scene. So this scene is pretty simple. It's just the default cube with the light, pretty much just a default scene. I don't have a scene in Blender that I can use, so I'm just gonna use this one. You obviously will use your own scene, so your own environment and everything else. So once we have this, you can just want to go to your camera, place it wherever you want to place it. So for example, I guess right here is fine, doesn't really matter, it's just an example. And once you've set up your camera, you just want to basically go to the data tab for the camera. So you just select the camera, then go to the data type, and here you will have a bunch of settings. You just want to open the lens setting and change from perspective to panoramic. As you can see, nothing happened, and that's just because I'm using Eve. You actually need to set it to cycles for it to actually work. As you can see, another option just appeared, so we're gonna select it and go to Equirectangular. Once you set it to Equirectangular, you're basically just good to go. It's going to render an equirectangular image. Of course, you want to set up the actual render output, so you want to match the resolution of your actual screen. I mean, not the actual screen, but the camera screen. So, for example, if you're using like a FNAF 1 type of camera, you want to just set it to your screen resolution, your game resolution. If you're using like a FNAF 3 camera like I am, you just want to grab whatever software you use. Like I use paint.net, so I'm just gonna select the blank space right here where my image is gonna go. Basically just kind of get the dimensions of the actual zone you selected. You can see it right here, and we want to just save those values and just apply them to Blender right here. Once you did that, you just basically go render and render the image. Okay, I've rendered the image, and as you can see, it just rendered an equirectangular image. So yeah, and then you just save the image, and now we can finally go to Clickteam Fusion and actually start coding. Okay, so now we are in Clickteam Fusion. I've gone ahead and created an application. We are obviously gonna change the screen resolution. I'm gonna set it to 720p. You can just set it to whatever you want. Of course, remember that you can have a limit on how much RAM you can use, depending on, of course, your actual Clickteam version. Okay, it's gonna ask me if I wanna also change the resolution of the actual frame itself. Anyways, now what you want to do, it's kind of you just kind of want to set up your scene. So we're gonna set up a active object and load our camera. So now we have the camera frame. We just want to set it up in the middle, right, like this. Perfect. Make sure it's layered correctly. And now basically we just set up that image that we've rendered before. So we just add another active object. We load the image that we rendered. So I think it's camera 3. This one right here. Okay. As you can see, here's our render. We just press OK, and we just place it underneath the camera, making sure that it's centered to the actual camera frame. And of course, you want it actually on the correct layer, so it doesn't actually open in front, which is not what we actually want. So now that we've done this, we of course rename the objects, so it's easier to code in the event view editor. Okay, I've gone ahead and renamed the actual cameras, the actual active objects. Okay, once we have set up this scene, actually I wanna place the camera feed on the very bottom like this, because we are now gonna put the actual shader in the middle. So you just want to create another active object like this, call it like shader whatever. I'm just gonna call it shader, and you basically want to just edit it and kind of like use some random color. You can use whatever color you like, it doesn't really matter. Once you've done that, you're just gonna place it right here. Sorry if my voice is kind of weird, I'm just sick. once you've resized it like this, you're just gonna go and click it and go into properties and in effects, and we're gonna edit and add the equirectangular projection. You just wanna click it right here and press OK. And now technically if we zoom in a bit, we are gonna see something's happening. So as you can see, it looks kind of 3D. Now it looks kind of bad because we haven't changed the actual settings of the shader yet. We are now going to. So as you can see, if you go in the properties tab, down on the left or whatever place you've placed the properties, you can see that we have horizontal FOV, vertical FOV, and other values. These values we are going to talk about them later. Actually, these ones in the middle are not really. You're not really gonna mess with them, so just leave them as they are. We're gonna use the focal X and the focal Y in the event editor. That's basically how you move the camera, because basically underneath this is just the actual camera itself. So it's like the big image. The shader, basically what it does, it basically like zooms in the image and distorts it a bit to make it look basically flat and 3D. So now, before we actually go to the event editor, we want to change the horizontal FOV and the vertical FOV. Now, this is where those values that you've wrote down actually come into play. You kind of just want to go to the field of view that you've set for the camera. So in this case it's 76 by 47, and in Blender you don't actually have that setting. You just kind of have to guess based on the focal length that your camera had before you switched it to panoramic. So in this case it's focal length. The focal length is 50 millimeters. So now we're just gonna use this one since it's actually this render. So we're just gonna place 76 and 47. Okay, as you can see, it's basically a match to this actual render. Now that you've actually set up the FOV, you can actually see the image, how you actually see it in your render, in your sorry, not your render, in your actual 3D software. So as you can see, it's pretty close basically, but there's one difference. The image is actually flipped, so it's a pretty simple fix. You just set the horizontal FOV to a minus value, so instead of being plus 76, it's going to be minus 76, and as you can see, it's just it's actually fixed itself. So we need to set up the actual way to control this shader, so we can look around using these values that I was talking about, so the focal X and the focal Y. So this is going to be a bit more complicated, but it'll make sense at the end, so bear with me. What you want to do is you want to actually add an active object right here. We're going to make it center, so we're just going to place it. We're going to place the action point and the hot point in the middle of the actual active object. We are going to rename this into like type. I'm just gonna name it cam move. It doesn't really matter. The thing that's gonna make this camera move. This is kind of like an indicator, so we are gonna use this one to basically wait, I'm just gonna set it to 0, 0 right now, which is what you need to do. So you basically just want to set it to 0, 0, and we're going to use this position to actually move the camera shader. So perfect. Now I'm gonna basically just follow how I did it on Infinity, the Night 5, so with the actual mouse movement of the scrollers on an horizontal scroller and a vertical scroller right here. So we're just gonna add some active objects. One of them is, let's make sure it's on the right level. Okay. One of them is gonna be the basically kind of like the guide on which the button you're gonna use to actually move the camera is gonna be placed. So we just make it whatever size you want, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna then edit it. We're gonna make it like a gray color. Perfect. And we're just gonna leave it there. We're gonna make it a bit transparent so we can actually see what's behind. Okay, so we are going to rename it, and we're going to rename it something like H guide, so horizontal guide. You can rename it whatever you want. And then we're going to add another active object. This is going to be our actual slider, so our button basically. We are just going to place it wherever. Just needs to be in this part. We are then gonna rename it into H slider, and we are just gonna make it white so it stands out from the actual background. Just gonna resize that. This looks fine. We are gonna do the same thing now for the actual vertical movement of the actual camera. So we just add another active object, we place it right here, we resize it to make it longer. We then just make it gray. It's not the actual it's not the same shade. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I think it's this one maybe. Yeah, it's actually this one. I think, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. So we just make it a bit transparent, and then we add the actual scroller right here. We place it right here. That's a bit too big. We resize it a bit. We place it right here, and we make this completely white, so like this. Perfect. We still kind of too big. We're gonna resize it a bit to make it actually fit. So there we go. This should be fine. We'll rename this, of course, so the slider, and the actual guide. Perfect. Now we've basically set up everything we need to set up in the actual visual side. Switch to the event editor. Now, first things first, we wanna kind of add the slider movement. So we want to basically be able to move these slides left and right and up and down. So what you want to do is you want to go right here, go to mouse, and then check for mouse pointer over an object. We want to check for the vertical slide or the horizontal one. I think I'm going to start with the horizontal one since it's the first one that we've actually set up. Now we want to add a limit condition only once when event loops. And we basically just want to kind of like turn on a flag right here. Let's see, where were the actual flags? Oh, right here. I'm blind. We're gonna set it on 0. It's fine. And basically our mouse pointer is over an object. the flag is going to be set on until the event loops. Now, with that being said, we want to add another condition. We want to add mouse user clicks with the left mouse button. Okay, gonna make this one on top. Perfect. Now that we've done this, we just go right here and we check for the flag. So we check if the flag is on, so the 0 flag. Check if it's on. If it is, you basically just want to go to position and set x coordinate to the x mouse position. So now if we run this, it should work. As you can see, it works. We are basically just moving the slider. Now though, the only problem is that basically the slider goes out of the actual line guide, and also we can't and it keeps following our mouse, which isn't what we actually want. Now those are pretty easy fixes. Correction, you actually want to check if the user, so we're going to replace this one. You actually want to check if the user user has their mouse button pressed down. So you just want to change that, and then what you basically want to do is you kind of want to just go right here and basically negate repeat while left mouse key is pressed. So it basically just fires off when the user doesn't actually hold their mouse button pressed. And you basically, what you kind of want to do is go right here and you set the actual flag to off. So remember the flag is 0, so we set the 0 flag to off. All right, now if we actually play this, as you can see, when I let go of the mouse button, the slider stays there, which is what we actually want, but it still goes over the actual lines. So as I said before, this is a pretty easy fix. We kind of just want to check for we kind of just want to check for the position of the slider of the slider to be inside the actual H guide. So all you need to do is go right here and go position, compare x coordinate, and we're gonna basically just say if the x coordinate of the actual slider is lower than the left point of the actual slider, so right here, left edge, we're gonna press OK. We are now just basically going to set the slider position to the left edge. So we're gonna go right here, set x coordinate to left edge. So position and left edge right here. And we're basically just gonna clone this one. We're gonna, with control if you don't know how to clone, and we are gonna place it down here, and we are going to check if position is lower than, of course, the right side of the object. So we're gonna go right here, right edge of the object, and we press OK. And now we just duplicate this one and we edit the inside of the actual expression, and we put the right side instead of the actual left side. Okay, this should actually work. Let's test it out. Okay, it doesn't work. Perfect. Yeah, of course it's not going to work because it's greater, not lower. Okay, as you can see, now it works pretty fine. It stops the actual slider from going outside the actual boundaries set up by the slider. So now we've done one slider, we need to do the other one. So all we need to do is we need to actually do the same thing as what we did before, so we can just copy this one, place it down here. The second one we need to change, so when the mouse pointer is actually on the vertical slider. The event loop we can keep that on, and then we're just gonna set a 0 flag of the actual vertical slider to 0, the 0 flag to on of the vertical slider, and basically we're just gonna literally copy what we did before. So we are gonna go right here, we're gonna check for values, flags, is flag on, the 0 flag is on. We are then going to set the position of this, the vertical slider to the y coordinate of the mouse. So right like this. We are then also going to basically set the flag to off when we release the mouse, so it doesn't just stick to your mouse when you let it go. And of course we are going to do the same thing as we did before with the actual limiter, so the slider doesn't actually go over the vertical slider guide. So what we need to do is basically we need to check if the vertical slider position is of the y coordinate, of course, is lower than vertical guide position, top position, so the y coordinate top edge. We're gonna click OK. So we've done one of them. Now we do the other one. So we need to check if it's greater than, and then we're gonna check the position, the bottom edge, and we're gonna press OK. And now we are basically just gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna set the y position of the vertical slider to the top position of the guide, so y coordinate top, and then we're going to do the same thing with the bottom, so position y coordinate, and we're going to set the bottom coordinate to we're going to set the coordinate, we're going to set the position to the bottom edge position right here. Okay, now we run it and we see if it works. It works pretty fine. That's fine. This one also works, but if we try and move the top slider and the bottom slider, as you can see, we can move both of them, which is not what we actually want, or actually what I want. If you like this, you can keep it on. I personally don't, so we are just gonna add a few small check right here. We're gonna insert a new condition, and we are gonna check if the flag for the vertical slider is off. So we're gonna go value flags is flag off right here, and we are gonna go 0. And we are basically just going to do the same thing for the other one, just in reverse. So insert another, and we are going to check if the horizontal slider is flag 0 off. And now we basically just fixed it. So as you can see, if I put my mouse over the other slider, it doesn't follow it anymore. If I let go of the mouse and then I repress it right down here, as you can see, it now works pretty fine. We are almost there. Now what we basically need to do is we need to map the actual movement of these sliders onto this object of this object up here. Also, another thing that I remembered, you need to actually make it so the object doesn't actually get destroyed if it's too far from the frame, because it can happen, and you don't want it to go inactive if it's too far from the frame. with that being said, before we set up this shader, we actually need to move this one, move the cam object. So it's pretty easy. We just go right here into, we just set up an always, and in this always we set the x coordinate of the actual camera guide to the position of the horizontal slider. So we just get the x position of the horizontal slider minus the basically the left track, the left guide position. So we go to position and we left edge. Okay, now we just put this put this on parentheses, and we are basically just gonna multiply it by 100. We basically just want to kind of grab the movement of the actual slider and map it to a 0 or 100 value. Yeah, pretty much. So now that we've multiplied it by 100, we wanna make another bracket right here. I'm gonna close it, and then we basically just wanna divide it by the actual length of the guide, the slider guide, sorry. So we go position and width, we divide it by the width, and then we basically just put some more parentheses, and we multiply it by 2. Sorry, multiply it by 2. Okay, you want to multiply it by 2 because you kind of just want to have the basically the camera guide in the middle of in basically position 0, 0, when you're actually in the middle of the frame. You kind of just want to multiply it by 2, so you can move by 100 on one side and 100 on the other side. Okay, hopefully that made sense. If it didn't, don't worry, you can just follow what I'm doing and it should be fine technically. So now we just subtract 100 from it. As I said, we are basically setting the guide to the actual middle of the frame. So this is basically everything. You now just want to press OK. And technically, if we run this project, you are going to see that set this slider to the middle. The actual guide for our camera movement will be in the middle, and if I move it to the left, it's gonna go all the way to the left, and if I move it all the way to the right, it's gonna go all the way to the right. So basically we set the X value. Now we are going to set the Y value. Same thing, just different. So in most cameras you kind of just want to move less up and down than left and right. So we are just gonna go right here, and we're gonna go set the X coordinate, sorry, not the X coordinate, the Y coordinate to the Y vertical slider. So we got Y vertical slider minus the top of the top edge of the guide. So we're gonna go to position, we're gonna go to Y of top edge. Perfect. You wanna just like you did before, you wanna multiply it by 100. Set it up in brackets. It would still work without brackets, but I like to keep things tidy, so we're just gonna do it like this. set up more brackets, and then we divide it height of the guide. So you just want to go right here to position, and you're gonna grab the height value, and then put everything around brackets again. Sorry. And then go minus 50, basically for the up and down motion. Now if we press OK, so as you can see, it works. It's also limited, so basically this shader doesn't really have a limit, so you can do like a 360 with the camera. We don't really want that because no actual camera can do a 360 unless it's some type of special camera. Okay, now we've basically just set up everything. Now we just move on to the actual shader, which is what you're here for, basically. It's another complicated formula, not so complicated, but bear with me. We're gonna go to always, the same as this one. We're just gonna go in here, we're just gonna go to effect and set effect parameter. The effect parameter we wanna set is f in lowercase and x in uppercase. This is that value that I showed you before, and now we basically just do what I do. So you just wanna type 996, so 996 plus the camera scroller value, the of course the x value. So we just want to go to position, x coordinate. Then we are going to set this in brackets. Okay, perfect. And we are going to multiply this value by minus 0.0005. This value is basically just gonna, this value right here is basically just gonna set the camera in the middle, and this value right here is just gonna be used to actually move the camera around. Okay, so you press OK, and then now we need to do the same thing for the y value. You just go right here, effects, effect parameter, you want to type f in lowercase and y in uppercase, and then you're just going to press OK. And now right here you just want to type minus 933 plus the y coordinate of the actual camera camera mover. So right here we are now going to put it on brackets, okay, right like this, and we're going to multiply it by 0.001. Then we're gonna put we're gonna place this on we're gonna surround this by more brackets like this, and we are now going to type one last value right here, minus 0.572, and that's basically it. So now if I run it, you will see that we can actually look around using this shader. As you can see, I'm looking around, I'm moving the camera, I'm moving the sliders, and the camera is actually and the shader is moving the actual camera. As you can see, it works pretty fine. It limits the movement, so you don't get like a 360 camera. One last thing before we end this tutorial, this is basically just something more that you can add in my game. You basically can move the camera around, not just with your mouse, because it's kind of really slow. as you can see, it's pretty slow because you need to move one axis and then the other. We can set up a WASD control system, so using the WASD keys you can move the actual view, and here's basically how. We're just gonna go to new condition, keyboard, upon repeat while key is pressed, and we are gonna press W, and then we are basically just gonna copy this for S, D and A. So W, S, D and A. Perfect. Go right here to V-slider. We go to position. You're gonna go to set X coordinate to V-slider, position Y. Did I say Y coordinate? Did I say X coordinate? I meant Y coordinate. You know, you're actually seeing what I'm doing. You want to set the Y coordinate plus whatever number you want to add right here. You can kind of just I'm gonna set it to 5. Okay, actually I messed up. This is a minus value because I'm going up, I'm not going down. If you don't know, basically in most game engines, up is this point is 0, 0, and up is minus, and down is plus. So technically, while you're holding W, we want to go minus, we want to go up. Okay, so then we're just gonna copy this one, we're gonna paste it down here, we're gonna make it a plus value. So now if we technically try this out, as you can see, if I press W and S, it just it moves the actual slider without the mouse, and if I want to use the mouse, I can just use the mouse. Perfect. Now we are going to do the same thing for D and S. You probably understood how this is going to work, so we're just going to go to position, set X coordinate, and we want to set it to horizontal X position, or X coordinate, I guess. It's D, so it's going to be plus 5. Perfect. And then we just copy this one up here and we paste it down here, and we edit it out and we make it into a minus value because it's gonna go to the left. So now if I move left, right, it just moves left and right. As you can see, without using the mouse, I can use the mouse. I can use the keyboard for up and down, left and right. I can also move the two at the same time. This is pretty much better than actually using your mouse. I like to add the option just in case somebody prefers to actually use the mouse instead of WASD. Anyways, that should be it. That should be it for this tutorial. Of course, if you have any questions, anything you didn't understand, hopefully I explained myself well. This is my first time actually recording a video like this, so if I stumble upon my words, I am just not used to it, so please keep that in mind. Anyways, also I'll add my game as the last link, so you can play it if you kinda got interested from this tutorial, and if you want another tutorial on something I did on my game, or just a simple explanation. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. And